So the Golden State Warriors have been a turnstile for most of this NBA season. We know that they have a chip on their shoulder. They have the most NBA titles over the majority of NBA teams, with the Lakers only having one, the Cavaliers only having one, the Toronto Raptors only having one over the past decade. Golden State Warriors won four out of their 8 seasons, over consistently making over to the postseason, unless we account the 2020 NBA season. It's been quite a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. This season they're 36-36 over the regular season so far. They have won the struggling worst road records in the NBA. You know what the Golden State Warriors rank is? They're 29-7 from home. That's a great record. The backwards part about that, with a matching win-loss record, is 7-29. Especially just losing 3 straight against sub to above 500 teams in just the Eastern and Western Conference. The Warriors are so subpar, they just try to make it a shooting range matchup for a majority of their games. When they got outplayed with Jaren Jackson Jr. with 4 blocks and 31 points over their game against the Memphis Grizzlies, and that's without Ja Morant even attending. Then getting shut out by Trae Young on a massive road matchup with DeJounte Murray just cooking them. They are just, I don't know, inconsistent. And there's only above a handful of games left over in the NBA season. They can't be allowing just 30-point performances, high shooting ranges, and only the backcourt can support much when they just can't defend over to the wing. They're not disciplined defensively, and just they just need to do more when it comes to trying to look more competent over to the road. On the road, they just need a more in-depth secondary unit, and just the Warriors haven't been so reliant over to a wing since Kevin Durant, and I think that's why they have been so inconsistent over this season. And now they're clinching over possibly games behind, even sticking over in the play-in spot. Because looking how it's formatted, the Warriors could be shoved off if they just can't hold it together. I know it's a five game road trips are pretty extensive and hard, knowing that you're out of your comfort zone, you're not over your home crowd. It's difficult, I get it, but you're still playing off against teams that you should be more superior over. With a returning Steph, Draymond, Kuminga showing great pace, with Kevon Looney, of course, Jordan Poole always being great over as a good 6 man over to the team. And I'm just conflicted that the Warriors could pass through the play-in spot. Utah is probably going to get knocked off for LA or New Orleans again. I just don't see it with Golden State the way they play. I don't want to point them as fraudulent, because they at least won a championship, and more than one with nearly the exact same founding players. But imagine if they lose to Houston or Dallas over their 2 straight, and then they're in a 5-game homestand against subpar playoff contending teams, where you even got Denver at the road in your fourth and final matchup with OKC. It's not going to be a good look after you finish off with Sacramento and Portland. And you only got only 4 out of your 10 remaining games being on the road against playoff contending teams. You guys have the weakest field goal percentage around offensively, and the highest production you guys have is just your shooting. Pick and roll, you still cut over off ball. Wiggins is going over being not the father, and we don't know what to get over the most of their depth, because they're especially losing Gary Payton Jr. over injuries that they got back over to the deadline. That was a massive upside, and it just feels like they just don't have enough depth. Ty Jerome barely does much. Moses Moody's just there over to the spot-up jumper. Klay Thompson just better off trying to fight off that he has 4 rings and nothing else. The only people that are picking up some decent leeway offensively is Jordan Poole, Dante DiVincenzo. Thinks he's a better playmaker and actually has chemistry over with the ball. Sometimes Anthony Lamb, Steph Curry when he's healthy, and sometimes Draymond Green when he's actually picking up the pace and trying to stop people defensively. There's just way too many inconsistencies. And yes, I understand they got a chip on their shoulder, but the regular season will answer if this team is even worth even being in the conversation still or not, even though the Warriors do pick up some massive wins. But losing your next 3 straight, especially over the 2 games remaining over to your road trip, and then you got a massive homestand. Now, home games are really important for the Warriors to see if they can clear in some momentum before we head over to early April. Before even the play-in starts, the Warriors need to end off the season strong. Tell me how you guys feeling about the Warriors right now. That's it from the DST show. Hope you like, comment, subscribe for more. That's it for me.